Hi, I'm James Stanaway. Welcome to our breakout session, Ramping Up Your Business, Finding Real Success Post-Pandemic. We're certainly in the midst of some strange times, so we decided to focus on some of the business aspects of what you could be doing now to find real success, not only currently, but also into the future as the economy opens back up. I'd like to apologize in advance if any of my new coworkers decided to help out and interrupt us during the class. My cats have decided now is the perfect time to be as helpful as possible walking across the keyboard. I've given them some treats, so I think we should be good to go. Let's start out talking a little bit about the class. First, let's take a look at the class objectives. Today we'll be covering why a laser prepares you to face and adapt to the changes that we are facing. What you should be doing to prepare for the changes of the economy, take advantage of the slow time, which markets and products will have the strongest comeback, and which high profit products you should be taking a look at, and finally, a few ideas for easier positioning, artwork, layout using the laser system. So first, a little bit about Epilog Laser for anyone that isn't familiar with our company. We've been manufacturing laser systems since 1988, and are one of the pioneering companies in offering this technology in the small to mid-sized format that you see today. We're the world's largest manufacturer of small and mid-sized laser systems and design three types of laser systems: CO2, fiber, and dual source systems, which allow you to engrave a wider variety of materials. Our lasers really are known for the highest resolution engraving and the fastest cutting engraving speeds, which provide you with a higher throughput and quality, which is really our goal for our customers. And of course, we're dedicated to US manufacturing, with all of our systems designed and engineered, manufactured in Golden, Colorado. So a little bit about me. I'm James Stanaway, Director of Marketing at Epilog Laser. I have over 19 years of experience in the laser industry, having joined Epilog in 2001. In that time, I've acquired experience in business development, sales, marketing, and have spent many, many hours on the laser. I'm here to answer your questions, so feel free to ask away. And after class, if you have any additional questions on how to work with the material, questions about the laser, or really anything else, please email me at jstan@epiloglaser.com. If I don't have the answer, I'll get you to the person that does. So now let's move on to our first topic, into the unknown. We're all experiencing a lot of uncertainty, and it can be a scary time. At Epilog, our number one objective is to keep the team safe and healthy. That means we've reduced our staff in the facility with a minimum of production and technical support staff, and keeping as many people working from home as possible, while balancing this with keeping our customers supported and successful. This has forced everyone to analyze how they do their job day to day and finding ways to change how we do business in the immediate uncertain time and into an unknown future. As a laser business, you face similar issues as you're forced to find new ways to market and find customers for your products. For example, team sports awards probably are not going to be popular in the short term, so awards companies are looking to other types of products to offer. I spoke recently with one awards company that they added customized ID badges for employee identification to show they're essential while commuting. It's ideas like this that can really change not only your business now, but well into the future. But let's start by looking at the positives. Why as a laser business are you set up well for the future? So I'm probably a little bit biased, but I really believe that lasers are a fantastic technology that allow you to really be prepared for the future. With a laser system, you're in a better prepared position than many small businesses because the technology provides you with some unique benefits for working through this uncertain time. First, companies are going to be looking for ways to build company morale in relatively inexpensive ways. How do you reward an employee in a way that they appreciate and that's affordable as well? A customized product with the company logo is a great way to build morale, and the laser provides you with a quick way to provide these products. As you know, personalization just adds incredible value to any product, so you're going to be able to really make some good profit off of these types of products as well. Next, the laser's versatility and ability to work on so many different products provides you with the ability to adapt to your current product offerings quickly and easily, adapting to the needs of the market. Over my 19 years at Epilog, I've seen this happen many times as customers purchase a laser specifically for whatever's hot at the moment, whether it was charm bracelets or something that's currently popular like leather hat patches or Yeti cut personalization. And when that fad dries up, they've changed their product offering extremely quickly. That's the power of the laser's versatility. It allows you to create new product offerings in a very short amount of time. The laser also allows you to pre-create your products to save time when they're ordered. Let's say you're engraving bamboo cutting boards with a graphic that you add a family name to. By pre-engraving items like this, you can have a stock of products ready for order. Simply position the artwork in the machine and send the name of the family to the laser when it's ordered, and you have a custom piece in just minutes ready to ship. Also, you have a customer base to work from. By spending time now focusing on new product offerings to provide the customers you already have, you can be ready to expand your business when the customers are up and running. Building a customer base is the #1 challenge for a new business, but since you've already been offering products to your customer base, you can expand your business by offering not only the products that you're known for, but also new and innovative products that you can design in these slower times. With the artwork preset, you can upload your sample pieces that showcase your new capabilities to customers through your website and marketing efforts. Also, don't forget all the resources that are out there to learn how to do new things with the laser. As you know, lasers are extremely easy to use. So by learning new techniques that others have already dialed in on the laser, you can find new and exciting ways to utilize your laser machinery. And finally, engraving is fun. There's a reason I've been marketing Epilog's products for 19 years. It's because there isn't a technology that's as fun to use. Creating samples with the laser it's not a chore. It's an exciting way to spend your time as you can see your creations come to life. There isn't anything as special as taking an idea, designing it, and walking away from your laser with a showpiece that blows away your customers when they see what you've created. All of this really comes back to one thing, the versatility of laser systems. It's this versatility that allows you to be in a unique position where you can transform how you do business and what you offer in really no time. It works on a wide variety of materials, including wood, acrylic, marble, glass, and much more. You can easily adjust from one material to the next by just tweaking basically 2 settings, speed and power. The large work table accommodates a variety of products that you can offer for sale, and you can even fill the entire table with a jig of parts. And it's really the most versatile piece of equipment you can have in your shop. Next, we'll take a look at how to prepare moving forward. There are a lot of decisions to be made, and by taking a close look at the changing face of the economy and the market, we can find some opportunities that are building really quickly. The first step in preparing for the changes ahead is to spend some of your downtime updating your samples. Find new graphics that will allow you to create really awe-inspiring products that will catch your audience's attention. You can also increase the variety of samples that you show on your site. This will allow you to find new ways to attract customers. Research new ideas for products that aren't currently producing. What do you see others being successful with? Is this an area that makes financial sense to your business? And find samples that best highlight your strengths. What do you do best? What do you do differently than the competition? What is that strength in the market that you should be highlighting even more? By asking yourself these questions, you can be ready to showcase yourself to the market in a more positive light than ever before. Another way to spend this time is in improving your design skills. As you know, the biggest learning curve on the laser isn't operating the laser, but rather the designing for the laser. We all get so busy doing that we don't tend to spend time improving. It's always the, I should really spend time on that factor of the business that can get lost over time. There are many sites right now offering free and reduced cost training on design software. Are you an Illustrator user that'd like to learn more about how to remove backgrounds on an image? Or do you want to explore photography engraving and how to adjust the contrast in photos? Now is the time. Taking advantage of sites like Coursera.com and Skillshare to see what's available in these courses is really important. Also take a look at the resources that are out there like Epilog Sample Club, Facebook fans page, and our knowledge base. There are many resources from Epilog and other laser manufacturers that can help you build your business and grow your design skills. Also, you can spend this time seeking out new customers. By focusing on larger commercial accounts, you can hit the markets that are likely to expand first when recovering. Use resources like LinkedIn to find contacts you already have that work at these companies and may be looking to have personalized products done for their employees and their customers during this really trying time. Access your network of friends and contacts to find new customers, and prepare some ads for Facebook and Google that highlight what you do. Fourth, we suggest reaching out to your current customers. There's a real desire out there by people to support small businesses in their area, and the best way to make sure that you're giving them the chance to support you, they need to know that you're open for business and ready to help out. Provide special promotions that make them more likely to act, and let them know you appreciate their business over the years, and that we're all here to help one another during this time. Fifth, how is your website? Is it already a stellar design that you wouldn't change anything on? Well, then congratulations. But like most of us, there are always 100 things on the to-do list for a website that you'd like to improve. Take some time to make those changes. Add articles to your site that'll provide valuable content that Google will find searchable, update your sample photos, and improve or add an easier to use e-commerce platform to make buying and ordering as easy as possible. Now, a lot of these are probably things that you're already thinking of doing, but it's good to have them as a daily checklist. When you're feeling frustrated by the situation, take a look at your checklist and focus on one item to help you with your own motivation and to get moving again. Next, we're going to take a look at a few of the industries that we suggest targeting right now. This one will probably seem a bit obvious to you, but there may be new ideas you haven't thought of before. COVID-19 protections. This could be laser cut acrylic sneeze guards and face shields that you sell to companies that have customer-facing employees. These are in really high demand, and the more people making them, the better for everyone. You can also be laser cutting face masks for employees or employee identification badges to show which employee is considered essential to the company. And I've included here a link to Johnson Plastics. They offer a variety of COVID materials designed specifically for the laser and a lot of really great ideas up there. Signage industry, it's really set to take off again because of many of the requirements businesses face as they begin to open back up. Informational and directional signage will both be in high demand. Signs you could offer for sale that you may not already be doing include wash your hands, remain 6 feet apart, maximum capacity, authorized personnel only, and there's a lot more. Companies will be searching for quick resources for these signs, so make sure you have a presence in this market. Another item that'll be in high demand is personalized gifts. Canceled high school and college graduations, long distance Father's Day and birthday gifts, thinking of you presents. These all provide you with the opportunity to sell a product to customers looking online for a unique gift for friends and family. Now, you might think that personalized gifts must all be unique and one of a kind. And while there's some truth to this, however, keep in mind that not all components of a customized gift must be unique. For example, an engraved door hanging reading "Bless this home" can be mass produced. The customized part can be added quickly and easily by adding "The Smith family, established 1998" beneath it. If you have 20 of these signs already created, you can easily personalize it by just adding that family name and date in just a few minutes. Another example is cutting boards. These are popular items to customize and can be mass produced and personalized within minutes. They make great housewarming gifts or hostess gifts once we can start seeing each other again. Our cut of beef cutting board is exceptionally popular. You can easily create a stockpile of these and then further personalize them by adding custom text at the bottom. Seasonal items such as wreaths and ornaments can be produced at a time and customized later. For example, you can engrave 30 "Our First Christmas" or "Baby's First Christmas" ornaments, then fill in the name and date as the product's ordered. And finally, the ever popular pet market. People love their pets, and that will never change. Now they're spending more time than ever with their newfound coworkers that love to interrupt their meetings at home. If you aren't already hitting this market, think of custom pet items as a way to expand your business with pet ID tags, customized collars, and more. So next up, we're going to take a look at a few tips for setting up projects on a laser using the latest technology features of the system. So one of the most common questions for new owners of a laser system is how difficult is it to properly position artwork? We're all used to the top left corner setup. Set the page size to the size of the piece and place it in the upper left corner of the table. This works really great for simple pieces. But what about that odd-shaped item you need to engrave? Nothing strikes fear in the heart of an engraver more than a customer bringing in a one-of-a-kind product or family heirloom. Here I'll show a new piece of technology in our Fusion Pro systems that'll help you position artwork really quickly and easily. So it's called the Iris camera system, and it's built into all of the Fusion Pro 32 and 48 laser systems. Features a system of overhead cameras, one on the Pro 32, two on the Pro 48, as well as a camera at the lens assembly. And the overhead cameras provide a view of the engraving table for artwork placement, while that camera at the lens detects registration marks for pre-printed pieces. Here you can see an overhead view provided by the camera on a wooden pen holder, and just how easy it would be to set something like that up. We'll walk through a typical job setup. It's the best way to really see how this all works. So here we're in CorelDRAW. We're going to start by importing our image. So we'll choose that zoo image. And I'm just going to place it on the table. And placement doesn't really matter here. We'll actually do that in the dashboard. Print it, and choose Epilog Engraver as our printer. And that's going to open up in our dashboard view here. So we can expand that print area to the entire table and just drag our item right on top of it. To get a closer look, we'll hit to fit. And now we'll actually do the resizing right here. I can just make sure that it's all perfectly positioned exactly how I want. So now that I've got that, I'm going to use a little trick to make sure it's perfectly centered. It's construction lines up that top corner there. I'm just going to draw a box around the item. Then I'll hold down Control to connect up to that line. And this is just a great way to make sure that your box is actually put in correctly on the table. Now I'm going to connect those corners, holding down the Alt key. And when I grab the graphic, I can make sure that it's perfectly centered there, you can see. Then it makes it really easy for setup. So now I'm just going to change my settings right over here. I'll set resolution to 500, speed to 70, and power to 100%. And I can see up here the run time and the job time estimator is going to be 1 minute 38 seconds. And I can change my print direction, bottom to top, and hit print. And just in a few easy steps, you're all done. So at the laser, you can just select your item, hit go. And you can see here that it'll engrave very quickly. We've cut down the time on this one so that we will be able to show the engraving in a pretty fast speed, but you can see the laser just moves right through that graphic and is positioning it exactly where we had set on screen. Now this makes really great sense for if you're doing one-of-a-kind pieces. It just is a fast way to set it up, and your piece is ready to sell. Next, we'll take a look at another customer favorite feature that uses a special copy table image tool to quickly set up text around a curve in an item, or to engrave a very specific area of an item. So here we've got a guitar neck in here. We're going to hit this button here, copy background image. We'll go over to CorelDRAW. We'll just have our page size set to that size of the table and just paste it in. And now we've got this graphic we can work with right in here to precisely set up our artwork. So first thing I'm going to do here is just draw an outline around the area where we want to place our graphic. And let's say I was setting up text on a curve, I could use the same tool to set up that text right around the curve of the neck here. And this doesn't have to be completely precise, but pretty close. So once I've got that set up, I can just clean it up a little bit to make sure I've got the entire area covered that I need to. And I'm happy with that. I'm just going to bring over my artwork. Now I just want to engrave this over the top of that, so I'm going to power clip it inside of that frame we created. And then edit the power clip. And that'll let me cover that entire area. And turn off my outline. So now you can see I've got that, I can see a preview of exactly where it's going to engrave. So now it's time to print it to the laser. Choose the Epilog engraver, selection only, print it. And now on the dashboard, you can see it's exactly positioned right over the artwork in the same place. Makes it really quick and easy to set up this kind of job. I can name my file here if I want to. Do my settings. So 100% speed, or 90% speed, 100% power. Bottom top engraving, and print it. And that's all there was to it. That's how easy it is. Choose my job here. And it's going to start engraving. Now, I don't know how many of you have tried to engrave something like this in the past, but I've always used the red dot pointer to make sure it's perfectly positioned the artwork, and I try it over and over again. This is just such a quick and easy way to do it. It makes the camera feature and the copy background image feature just work so seamlessly together. And our custom engraving is done. Next, we'll show you how you can reduce the time you spend setting up a file using the ins and outs of the laser dashboard. Here we'll learn how to change settings, import settings, and duplicate graphics and more. So here we've got a simple sign file that we've set up, and we'll start by sending that job to the laser just like we have in the past. Print Epilog engraver. And we'll expand the print boundary to cover the entire piece of plastic that we have in here. And I'll turn off the camera so that I can better see the graphic. Select to fit so I can work with it a little easier. And the graphic separates into two processes, engraving and cutting. The outline cut was automatically separated by hairline. You can also use color and a lot of different ways to separate this as well. Let's say we want to cut out the portions of the cup with a thick outline. So we'll ungroup the graphic by clicking the Ungroup button. Hold down the Shift key to select those three graphic areas. And I'm going to choose Processes by Selection, and adds a new process with the selected items in it. So now I'm going to set that to Cut, and we'll merge that with our other vector process. So just merge with vector. So now we've got that as cut lines too. Makes it really easy to add in extra cut lines. Up here in the view area, I can choose engrave and just see the engraving area, or vector and just see what's going to vector cut with the laser. And go back to combine mode to see everything. So next up, we're going to turn that video camera back on. and go to Table. I'll select that graphic and just copy and paste it across the sheet. So right in the graphic software, I can actually duplicate my graphic, position it on my piece of plastic as many times as I want to. Makes it really easy. It's one of my favorite features. Now we'll import our preset settings for engraving plastic. Select the Import button, and I will choose the plastic for engraving. And it's going to set up my resolution, my speed, power, anything that I've saved in there that I want. And I'll do the same for cutting. You can see it's already moved over to the vector area there tab. Choose my material. And that's all there is to it. So go ahead and hit print. Now we'll use that same graphic and set up the signs with different speed and power configurations for different parts of the graphic using color. So here you can see we've adjusted the graphic with different colors assigned to different areas we want to engrave differently. We'll go ahead and print it. We'll expand the print margins again. Turn off the video so we can see the graphic better. Hit to fit. Now we have 3 colors for the different areas. We want to use separate settings. So we'll select the engraving process and select split by color. Now you can see there's different processes set up for each of the 3 colors that we have, as well as the vector line. We'll import the setting for engraving plastic for the first one. And then for the small text, we're going to go ahead and set the resolution to 600. On the black process, we'll import those same settings. Leave those alone. And then again for the red process, we'll do that again. And now we want a lighter engraving in this area, so we're going to change the power to 5%. We'll import our vector settings. Turn on that camera view again. And we'll just copy and paste that across the image. Hit to fit. And it's all set up and ready to print. So it makes it really, really easy to set up these kind of jobs. We won't actually engrave this one, but you get the idea of how you can quickly set up signs, fill up your entire table in just a few minutes. Another trick I really like is using DPI to save time when engraving. So DPI stands for dots per inch, and the higher the dots per inch, the closer together your dots will engrave. Higher DPI means more lines of etching and higher engraving time as well. So while our lasers can engrave up to 1200 dots per inch, this is rarely used. I find myself only using it when engraving extremely small fonts, where you want to make sure that you get really nice engraving throughout that little 2-point font. Here you can see 2 samples engraved at 300 DPI and 600 DPI. Well, the 600 DPI item looks much better with less of a dot pattern in the tiger's face. It also doubled the engraving time from 1 minute 22 seconds to 2 minutes and 44 seconds. So adjusting resolution can save you a lot of time on your projects, depending on what kind of quality you're looking for in the engraving. But here's the trick. You can use a lower DPI in combination with a dithering pattern in the driver that randomizes the dots to get a really great looking engraving, even at that lower engraving time. Here you can see 3 samples that we've done. The initial 2 we saw last time, at 300 and 600 dpi, and then an additional one also at 300 dpi. But this time we've chosen the Stucky pattern as our dithering setting in the driver. And what this does is it randomizes that dot pattern that you can see at 300 dpi previously, providing similar quality to the 600 dpi engraving, but it only took that initial 1 minute and 22 seconds. So this time savings can really add up when you're engraving across the whole table. So DPI is definitely something you really want to pay attention to and can really affect how much throughput you can have on your machine. Speaking of engraving across a table, to give you an idea of the time savings when you fill up a table, here I've set up a project on 2 separate lasers to engrave 120 coasters in various colors with a company logo. Let's say this is an order that we receive regularly. Here you can see we've got our Helix system with a 24 by 18 inch table set up to run 24 coasters in one run. When we fill up that whole table, they just fit perfectly in there. If we set that speed to 100% and power to 20%, it takes 18 minutes and 10 seconds to run those 24 coasters. Now, if I was doing all 120 coasters using this machine, you're looking at 5 runs total, or a total engraving time of about 90 minutes and 50 seconds. But now let's say we had a larger engraving table we could work with. So here we've set up that same project on the Fusion Pro 32, and this has a 32 by 20 inch engraving table. And it lets me create the number of coasters on the table. It changes it from 24 to 40. Now, even with this larger engraving area Laser needs to cover, the higher speeds of the Fusion Pro allow you to engrave these 40 coasters in 19 minutes and 23 seconds, compared to that 18 minutes and 10 seconds on the Helix. Now with 40 coasters per run, we only need to fill that table 3 times to do the full 120 coasters to the order. So the total engraving time drops from 90 minutes 50 seconds to only 58 minutes 9 seconds. It's a real time savings. So let's say these items cost us 50 cents per piece and we're charging $3 per engraved coaster to the customer. So what this really means to you, money talks. So this will give you an idea of the additional revenue you can make when you're keeping your laser busy. If my business was focusing just on coasters, I could do 5 orders of 120 coasters per 8-hour shift on the Helix, while I can fulfill 8 orders in the Fusion Pro 32. That means each day I can make $1,500 in the Helix doing these orders, or $2,400 in the Fusion Pro 32. So it's a 60% revenue increase. Now let's say you're leasing the machine, the Helix at $399 a month, or the Fusion Pro for $499 a month. These are based off of Geneva Capital numbers. That increased lease payment can be covered in just one day. So this just gives you a good idea of what you need to be looking at when deciding on the size of the laser that best fits your needs. Do you have the business to keep your laser busy? Then a larger size table could really provide great benefits. So if you're here because you don't currently have a laser, here are a few things I suggest asking yourself as you decide what laser size and wattage is right for you. First of all, what's your maximum piece size you want to fit in the laser? What's your budget? How much space do you have for a laser to fit in your shop or home? Then it really comes down to a balance between size and wattage, making sure that you're getting the most for your money possible. You don't want a customer coming in with a product that you can't engrave because your table isn't large enough for it, but you also can increase your speed of engraving if you use a higher wattage laser on the same material. So it's really all about this balance. So a little bit about that speed and wattage that you're going to have to decide on. There's various wattages available on the systems from 30 up to 120 watts. Different sizes of systems offer different wattage maximums. So like on our Zing system, entry level, you're going to be limited out to 40 watts. Fusion Pros, you can go all the way up to 120 watts. The higher wattage, basically what it's going to do is allow you to cut through thicker materials in a single pass. Here you can see some of our suggestions for These aren't maximum for how thick you can cut, but they are good suggestions. So if I'm cutting 3 millimeters, I'm going to look at a 30 watt, 6 millimeters, 40 watt, 10 millimeters for 50 or 60 watt, and about 13 millimeters for a 80 or 120 watt. And you can always do multiple passes as well if you need to get through a thicker material. You can also run the laser at higher speeds with a higher wattage to get to the same engraving depth. Where you're really going to notice this is on a material like wood, where I'm going to have to slow it down if I'm on a lower wattage to get to the same engraving depth. For size, sizes range from 16 by 12 up to 48 by 36 inches. The large table is going to allow you to engrave larger items and also let you set up multiples across the table, like in the coaster example. And as you know, more throughput, that means more profit. So that's really why you want to look at these two items of size and wattage to find the right balance for you. To finish up, I wanted to spend a few minutes talking about what can I make. We've talked a little bit about a few of the industries that you can use the laser in, and maybe there's some other ideas here that you haven't thought of before that could continue to expand your business. So awards, this is probably the most obvious one for the laser. It's where the laser first got its start, actually. It was invented for the awards market. You can engrave custom acrylic, wood plaques, add nameplates to trophies, and areas you can sell into are school, in the future, team sports clubs when they come back, corporate awards. So there's a lot of areas that you can use the laser for awards engraving. Building signage, we've touched on this a little bit already. You can create custom designs in engravable plastics, kind of like those Joe coffee shop ones that we were setting up. Really easy to set up on the laser. But you're not only limited to engravable plastics. Think of other materials you can use as well. Wood, acrylic, marble, glass. There's a lot of different signage materials that maybe aren't as traditional as engravable plastic, and create really, really unique signage that customers get excited about. And you'll be able to sell these into schools and hotels, hospitals, libraries, just a lot of possibilities there. Fabrics and apparel. Appliques is one area that are very popular for the laser, but also there's a lot of different fabric and apparel usages for the laser. Custom wood hat brims, leather patches, those are really hot items right now, and a lot of customers are looking for that. And think about where you can sell these kind of promotional items that bars and restaurants might be looking at ways to promote themselves coming out of this whole situation. Online shops, you'll be able to use them also to sell as custom birthday, anniversary gifts. So great things there. Wedding items. Once weddings get up and running again, people are going to be looking for all types of different gift ideas, as well as items that they can engrave to have at their wedding. Guest books, signage, bridal party gifts, a lot more. Wedding photography engraving. This is a really high profit potential item here. When someone's getting married and they've got their very special photo, they're willing to pay a large amount of money to be able to have that put permanently onto a piece of marble, a piece of wood, maybe a large piece that they can put over their sofa. So great things there. And work with gift shops, wedding planners, event venues. Really get your contact information out there to let them know that you have these capabilities. Back to school items. When school starts up again, as it someday will, you're going to be able to customize back to school accessories for kids, college students. You could do notepads, pens, fraternity paddles. People are going to be really excited to be getting back to school, and they're going to be looking for these kind of custom items. You could talk to school fundraisers, bookstores, and college gift shops as great locations to place your items as well. Home goods, this is something that's really popular right now as people are stuck at home and they're spending more time cooking than ever before. Engraved kitchen housewares. You could create inlays and drawers and tabletops, a lot of possibilities. Sell these into custom furniture shops, home decor shops, sell them at craft fairs. Have the person come up, you could engrave their name on it right up there in front of them. And online, obviously, great places to sell these kind of engraved home goods. Sporting goods, once sports start up again, inspiring sporting goods with logos and quotes are a great way to go use the laser. Unique sports items are out there, like these baseball bat mugs. You can actually find a resource for these up at our sample club. Sell them into sporting goods stores, Father's Day gifts, groomsmen gifts, online gift stores. Actually, I always go down to spring training every year with a friend of mine, and one year he gave me all of our tickets from that year uh, in a frame. So the next year I had to show him up, and so I actually did a inlaid item that had a baseball player on it, and then engraved each of those baseball tickets. So it was a really one of a kind piece, and he was really blown away. Metal etching. If you're using one of our fiber laser systems, you can directly mark into the metal, engrave into the metal, and create all kinds of different marks, annealed marks, different things like that for a really black look. Or if you're using a CO2 laser, look into using metal marking sprays that'll let you get these nice dark marks on the parts. Etch control panels. And you can sell these into electronics manufacturers, machine shops, and it can also be used for trophy and award grading when you're using brass and different items like that. So where do you find these resources? If you haven't been up to our sample club, definitely check it out. We add up new sample files each month. They've got step-by-step instructions on how we create the samples, where to source the materials for those, suggestions for which markets to sell into, like we've done here, tips for project setup. It's a great location to see what we've built up, over the past 19 years of samples, and they've definitely improved over time. So there's a lot of great ideas up there to check out. And join the communities. One of the ones that I love out there, obviously, is Epilog Facebook fans. There's over 14,000 members now, and they share projects they create with the laser and ideas for new products, where they source different things. It's a great way to ask questions about sourcing, actually. If you don't know where to find something, you can go up there and post, and someone else out there in the community probably is engraving on that item already and can tell you where they get it and where you can find it. That's a great resource for it. It's just a great resource for finding more success with your laser system. So you made it. We made it through the entire presentation. My cat didn't interrupt us even once, so that's good. If you have if you'd like more information about Epilog Laser, or if you have any questions about the laser systems in general, or how to work with a specific material, feel free to email me, jstan@epiloglaser.com. Like I said, if I don't have the answer, I'll get you to the person who does and find out that answer for you as well. Or feel free to contact your distributor as well. If you need to look them up, you can find them at epiloglaser.com/where to buy. And you can probably set up a demonstration as they start to open up again now too, or they'll be able to set up a virtual demonstration. We always suggest you bring your own materials and files to test if you are doing a demonstration. It's the best way to see how the laser is going to work for you. Ask yourself, what is the throughput of the system? What can I expect of after sales support? These are important questions to really consider when you're deciding who to work with. Will the company be a partner in your success? And I really hope you find that Epilog Laser can be that company to be a part of your success. So thank you for joining us today. I just want to leave you with a reminder that although we don't know exactly what's going to happen in the future, there will be proms and graduations again. There will be weddings. We'll gather at restaurants and breweries, and there's going to be sports. There'll be special events again. And with a laser, you are poised to offer your services for those in-demand applications and now and in the future. Thank you.